Hello everyone. First off, my apologies. This video lesson is going to be a little long and I'm going to be talking a little fast because I just drank a lot of coffee before making this video because there's a lot of lessons to go over. First off, I'm going to say this. Long-term portfolio for the win. Guys, see Uber today? Ding, ding, ding. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You see DoorDash today? Awesome, awesome, awesome. The SPY today, new highs. You know I've been accumulating the SPY. For everybody that's watching this from YouTube, I want to remind everybody, even though everything didn't work out exactly how I liked it on the way down, I sold all of my half of my long-term portfolio at the end of 2021. And the major load, I bought it on the way down. Incrementally, I bought it on the way down and made big buys in SPY. But the biggest buy in SPY was going to come with a close below 350 and on a reclaim of 350, I'm basically buying 50% of all that cash that was raised on a reclaim of SPY 350. All members knew about it. I talked to multiple individuals during this bear market and told them how I believe, based on history and this not being a secular bear market, only a cyclical bear market, the bottom would be SPY 350. Well, the bottom was SPY 348. Unfortunately, that happened intraday, so that 50% on a closing basis low never happened. But thankfully, I continued to piecemeal into the long-term portfolio. We got fully invested in it sometime around early 2024 before I could ever get a pullback. But not only that, I want to remind everybody, when this market was pulling back here and people were freaking out here, who told their chat room on Sunday night that weekend who was buying the SPY, the SMH, and the QQQ on that gap down? I was. And in the long-term portfolio, I bought QQQ, SPY, and SMH at the open on August the 5th. Now, I bring all that up because, unfortunately, I was hoping SPY would get below the 200, all in on the reclaim above the 200, and or once SPY was above the 50, I would get my tickets indicator above the zero line with SPY dipping below the 50 and a reclaim. The 200 didn't happen. The tickets indicator, SPY 500 didn't happen. That's okay. It's still been an amazing stretch. We've had some amazing winners, but with that being said, it isn't all smooth. So, bought the SPY at the bottom on August 5th. Bought the QQQ at the bottom on August 5th. I bring all that up because today I only have one end of day sell signal and it's a full loss. FLUT was a new long signal on Thursday above 240.64. That happened. It opened below, went red to green. And you guys all know, if it goes red to green intraday, once you get triggered in, whatever that low a day is, that's your first stop. Then I would have a stop here and a final stop here. But because I live on Maui still, for now, that trigger and fill happened in the morning. I didn't get to add additional stops. That reversal, when it broke below this low, that's a full R loss. Now, I calculated my size from this low, but still, from here to here, that whole trade, that's a full loss. Everything else I am long was green today. Everything worked, but FLUT was a full R loss. Why do I focus on FLUT? Because I made mention I've gotten a lot of long signals lately. I haven't gotten that 100% all-in signal, that clear load up on me signal, because where I keep getting the signals at continues to not be perfect. So with FLUT, what is my issue with FLUT whenever I went long? It's extended from the 50 SMA. You guys already know if it's extended from the 50 SMA, well, members know, I'm not going to load into any position. But the 21 EMA is more important. And unfortunately, yesterday, look where the 21 EMA is extended. Should I have been taking all of the capital that I normally place in a new long position, like MU was a new long yesterday, that still was extended from its 21 EMA, but it's within a base. It's within a consolidation. So it's extended from its 21 and 50, but it's not extended. FLUT was extended. Now here's the problem. My dumbass, let's edit this, turn this into a simple, turn it to a 20 SMA. See how it's touching the 20 SMA? I didn't check to make sure that it was extended or not from the 21 EMA. Had I done that, I would have seen that it was slightly extended, and by default, it just doesn't get as much size. So even though it was a full R loss, it's not that big of a deal because it happens. That's trading. Now, here's where it sucks. Because if I would have seen that it was extended from the 21 EMA, not much less a 50 SMA, I don't put as much capital at risk as I do with this trade to become a full loss. When I say full R loss, that means if I'm risking $1,000 on the trade, I like from the entry to my final stop level, if I'm risking $1,000, that means it clipped it all. Might not have lost 1,000, but I lost like 900. That's a full R loss. I bring this up because I had two massive winners today. TWG, and you can see the white triangle, 224% gain on a closing basis, up over 250% at the day's highs. And I posted in the chat room that I sold most of it at the day's highs. I sold basically 75% of my position around 8:15 or so. So I got it near the highs, but that's a 225% gain. Here's the problem. This wasn't my only winner. This is actually a good thing. TVGN was a new long yesterday on the spec side. Do you guys see what it's doing after hours tonight? It's up over 225%. I posted it in the chat room. Already sold 50% of it around $1. I have another 50% of the remaining position to sell if the stock happens to go to $1.50. We'll see if it does. Now, thanks to TVGN and thanks to TWG, when in aggregate with FLUT, I'm green. I just made money. The problem is, had I sized properly into FLUT, I would have made a lot more money in TWG and TVGN combined. But I'll tell you this, guys, am I upset that I lost a full R in FLUT? Am I super excited that I got a 225% or 250% plus gain in TWG in 1, 2, 3, 4 days? Am I super excited that I got a 225% gain in TVGN in 1 day? No. The TVGN trade doesn't excite me. The TWG trade doesn't excite me. Because first off, this used to be the normal before 2008. I could load the boat in this signal knowing I was going to probably get this. I could load the boat in TVGN knowing I was going to probably get a 225% move after hours. You know, and if I didn't, I could just get out of it and move on to the next one. Not so much anymore. TVGN and TWG are now the outliers, and FLUT seems to be more normal. But none of these trades affect me in the way that missing a trade or not getting filled in a trade. So last weekend, I gave you guys ALAB. How's that doing? 27% gain in 1 week. Not too bad, right? I also gave you MSTR. How's that doing? 20% gain in 1 week. Not bad. Gave you two new long ideas. One's up 20, one's up 25. But I want you to notice something. ALAB, you got a white triangle, right? Where's my white triangle for MSTR? I didn't get filled, guys. That kind of bothers me. 176.55, 176.52 was my buy stop. My limit was 178. The low of day the next day, 178.80, no fill, not chasing. Pulls back this day. What does it hit? 178. Guess who didn't get filled though? That's right. Not even one share. Not even one share filled. And now look at it. Does that bother me? A little, not too much. It's kind of a chase trade. Here's the trade I really wanted. Right here. This is when I noticed it. MSTR. That heavier volume, that little relative strength line perk. Could have done the buy stop above 143 at 143.01. Didn't do it. This was a hammer candle I would have looked for. Turn this candle around and upside down, and I'm getting long above the high of the day. Instead, it gapped on me. And then I was like, oh, shit. Well, could be long at 143.01. Don't want to pay 144.66. There's this gap. I'll let it pull back on me. Never pulled back. But then I got this signal. All right, I'll get this signal. No fill. So MSTR kind of bugs me. Missed out on a 50% gain there. Missed out on a 20% gain there. But do you know what really irks me? Not taking a trade that I have high conviction in just because the setup isn't perfect. So AFRM, made mention, I loved it here in the video lesson for members. Made mention, I loved it here. Made mention, I loved it here. But why didn't I get long? I got the heavier volume that day, but I got bop going in the wrong direction. Lower highs in these bars. Nice move off the 21 EMA. Heavy volume. Well, not off the 21 EMA. It's below the 21 EMA, but it's tight. It's tight there. And I balk. I balked on it simply because this indicator was weakening. I didn't see, and the volume's good, but without a pocket pivot point signal or above average volume, with BOP declining, even if I have high conviction in a name, I didn't get long. So I missed it. But then it pulls back sideways for one day, and I thought that I had chance, but then this day happened. Now I have my pocket pivot point signal above average volume. BOP is now finally going the right direction. But you know what? I told myself, you know what? It's not extended from the 21 EMA, but it's a little extended from where I wanted it. I wanted it at 39.36. Let's see if I can get a pullback to 39.36, and it's gone. Now I'm pissed. So, FLUT doesn't bother me. I miss size in that one. TWG, I wish I could have more size, but guess what? This ain't pre-2008 anymore. I wish I had more size, but it ain't pre-2008 anymore. Hey, I wish I could have gotten filled, but that's the way the ball bounces. But AFRM, this one sucks because I had conviction in this one, which means I would have had size in this one, and it means in 5 days we would have had a 20% gain. So that's a pisser. All of this is to tell everybody that's trading. Here's another one I flagged that I didn't go long. Lee, liquidity trap name. So, and this one, ITech 2 or IKT, right? IKT. So IKT, see the low is 115. This low is 115. If this low a day here on this signal would have been 114, I would have taken this trade. Would have had a 13% gain in this trade. But the low didn't sweep the previous low after a volume truncation max green bop day. Okay, do you understand? That's why I didn't take that one. Not upset that I missed this one. And Lee, not upset I missed out on this 15% gain. Why? This is that inside hammer candle that I'm looking for after a volume truncation max green bop day. They both have volume truncation max green bop day. Here's the problem. With that inside hammer candle, I want volume to dry up. It didn't. If we sweep the lows and close like this, that's fine with that volume. But if an inside hammer candle forms, I want volume to dry up. It didn't happen. Not upset. Not upset. Not upset. Not upset I didn't have more. Not upset I didn't have more. Upset. Guys, this is trading. But you know what? If you're watching a video lesson, you got ALAB, you got MSTR. You should be happy if you watched last weekend's video lesson. So after all of that review, just to let everybody know how trading goes, how trading is, what I'm upset about, what I'm not. Going through the motions, good decisions. I have 3 new quality long positions for Monday, but there's only one I'm going to review because there's only one that isn't extended. CEG. So CEG is your weekend trade idea. What I have here is CEG putting in a hammer candle off the 21 EMA. So it's doing a hammer candle off the 21 EMA. And I have heavier volume and above average volume. And even though it's hard to see, and even though BOP went yellow, it's higher than the day before. So with CEG, I'm going to get long above 266.22. By the way, guys, I'm heavily on margin right now. Heavy on margin, fully invested in both swing accounts. There's 2 accounts that I have that are specifically meant for swing trades. Both of those accounts are near 200% long. So all I'm doing is rinsing and repeating, rotating out of the laggards, taking profits on gains like APP. See the white triangle? I'm taking gains. Guess who's taking more profits in PI after today? And I'm taking that capital and I'm moving it into names like CEG. So I'm going to attempt to get long above 266.22 at 266.23. I'll be risking to here, but because it's so far extended from the 50 SMA, I'm going to calculate my size from here. Now, if I calculate my size from here and it allows me to put all of the remaining capital into CEG, that's what I'll be doing. Now, if CEG opens red and goes red to green, awesome. If it gaps up, you pause the trade, wait for it to trade below 266.22, and then when it does, you call it back on. And then your first stop goes below that low of day on the session that it triggers and fills. Then let's say that happens on Monday. You'll have a third below Monday's low of day. You'll have a third here and the final third right there. And that's how I'm going to trade CEG. Now, if I had the IWM actually leading, ARC leading, or FFTY leading, and you know they're not because those relative strength lines aren't going from the lower left to the upper right. XLF is doing better. Like, sorry. Let me get out of this and go to a Zoom 3 chart. That's not even what you want it to look like. It's not even what you want it to look like. It's not what you want it to look like. I don't really have anything that I want to show that looks like the way I want it to look. So it is what it is. But if it was leading, then CEG kind of looks like how I want it to look. So CEG, if the IWM looked like CEG's relative strength line, then we're taking size. All right, guys, a lot of time just went by. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I haven't done this in a while, but hey, if you like this video lesson, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Also, in the description below, if you want to take part in some of these trades like app, like PLTR, like TVGN, like TWG, the links are in the description box. Have a great weekend, everyone.